Okay, so now we'll start now. Okay, so myself, Dr. Kurwar Singh, Assistant Professor in CSC Department, IIT Trichy. Okay, so one more primitive which is used in blockchain technology is elliptic curve crypto system. So first session I will be talking about ECC, and the next session I'll be talking about blockchain technology. Okay. Okay, so before going to ECC, just we'll discuss some algebra part, group theory. Okay, so group, as you may be knowing, just I'll revise here. So is a set G with binary. Yeah. The set G with binary operation is called group if it satisfies the following four properties. So first property is it should be closed. So if A and B are element of G, then if you apply the operation between A and B, that resultant element again belongs to Z. That is the first criteria. This is associativity. You can see here, change the bracket here, order of the bracket. And then third property is there must exist one identity element E such that if you apply the operation with E, you will get that element E. Similarly, this one. So E, the operation A, any element A of G, apply the operation with E, you should get A. Okay, so this is the identity element. Then the fourth one is for all the elements of G, there exists another element A dash, which is called inverse of A, if A, the binary operation, A dash is identity element. Okay, then this. So all the element must have inverse. So then if satisfy these four properties, it will be called the G with the operation will be called a group. Okay, for example, you see the simple example, the one to set is 1, 2, 3, 4, and the operations is multiply modulo 5. Okay, so it's closed. If you multiply very two elements, modulo 5 is prime number. Okay, so you'll get one of the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the identity will be 1, and the inverse of every element, they have the inverse. For example, inverse of 2. So inverse of 2 will be, so inverse of 2 will be, you have to multiply 2 with the element such that modulo 5 should be 1. So if you modulo 5 is equal to 1. Okay, so the 2 inverse is 3. Okay, similarly 3 inverse will be 2, because 3 into 2 modulo 5 is identity. This is the E. Okay, similarly 4 inverse will be 4 itself. So 4 inverse will be 4, because 4 into 4 modulo 5 is equal to 1. Okay, so this is the group. So this group, not only this one, you can generalize this one, and there is a theorem that ZP, the notation is ZP, P is the prime number, that is 1, 2, 3 till P minus 1. Till P minus 1 with operation multiply modulo P is a group. Okay, so this not only for 5, is for all the prime numbers. Okay, so is clear? Okay. Then comes the cyclic group. Okay, so group which will be the group cyclic, you can see group which can be generated using the power of an element. So all the element can be expressed as the power of one element, and that element is called generator. So this element is called generator. Okay, if that can be done, then that group will be called cyclic group. And the same, you can see example of Z7. So Z7 is 1, 2, 6. multiply modulo 7. This is a cyclic group. You can see here the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, and all these elements we can write as a power of 3. So this is 3, 3 square will be 9, 9 modulo 7 is 2. Okay, 2 into, so 3 square, 3 cube. So this 2 you got, 2 into 3, 6. Okay, 6 into 3, 3 to the power 4, 3 to the power 3 into 3, 6 into 3, 18. 18 modulo 7, 4. 4 into 3, 12. 12 modulo 7, 5. 5 into 3, 15. 15 modulo 7, 1. So you can see all the elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can write as the power of one element, that is 3. If that is the possible in the group, then that group will be called cyclic group. That will be called cyclic group. And ZP with multiply modulo P is cyclic group. Okay, not only this, any P. Okay, now another example. So generators are not unique. So there may be more than one generator. So you can see here this 5 is also generator. If you see the 5 square 2, 5 square 5 into 5 25 modulo 7 25 5 into 5 modulo, what is this? Modulo 7, 25 modulo 7 is 4. Okay, this we wrote this wrongly. I think this should be 4. And 4 into 25 modulo 7 is 4. Yeah. So 4 into 5, 20. 20 modulo 7, 6. Correct. 6 into 5, 30. 30 modulo 7 is 2. And then this one. Okay. So what I'm saying is the generator may be more than one. If you have any doubt, you can unmute and you can ask me. Some questions are there.
So please explain once more.
Yeah. Yeah. So group, I hope you know the group. Okay. So now the cyclic group, the group in which all the elements can be expressed as the power of one element, that element is called generator. If it is possible, then that group is called cyclic group. Okay. So for example, let's take this Z7. The set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the operation is star modulo 7. So this is a group. It's well-known group. Any, not only 7, any prime number here. And this is group. It's already proved. Okay. So we can give it's proved on this theorem. Okay. Now we want to say that this is a cycle. This also is a cyclic group. Okay. So what is a cyclic group? All the elements, they can be expressed as power of one element. For example, you see here, I can express all these elements as power of 3. 3 is okay. 3 square is 9. 9 modulo 7 is 2. We got 2. 3 cube. Similarly, 3 cube. 3 square into 3. 2 into 3, 6. Similarly, 3 to the power 4 will come 4. So 3 can generate, if you power it, if you power 3, you will get all the elements. So this is a cyclic group. Okay. And similarly, the 5 is also generator. If you square the 5, you will get all the elements. So this is called cyclic group. Okay. And this is used in Algol. You might have heard about Algol cryptosystem. So the first thing is there, cyclic group ZP. The first requirement is ZP. That is the cyclic group. Okay. So that is it. Okay. Anything? Okay. If you have any doubt, you can just unmute and you can ask me. Okay. So next, another primitive is there. field very important. It's widely used in cryptography. So with the field, okay. So in the field, in the group, as you have seen in the previous case, we have only one binary operation. Okay. In the field, we will have two binary operations. One is addition, another is not be normal addition. Okay. So another is called multiplication. Okay. So you have one set and two binary operations. That will be called field if it satisfies the following property. So here, basically, here you have two groups. So F, this is the also group. So field is basically roughly equivalent to two groups. Okay. So this is the F with addition forms the group. You can see that these are all the group property. Addition, you can see the INT element, in addition INT element will be 0 and the inverse will be additive inverse. Okay. And then we have another group, F with multiply. So here the except, you can say this group is like F minus 0. Okay. So 0 cannot have multiplicative inverse. So you can see except 0, all the element must have inverse. Okay, because 0 cannot have. That is the requirement of the field. So you can say, because this is also group. This is closure in multiplication case, this is associativity, this is the abelian. So here one extra thing is abelian, commutative. Okay, so this is two abelian group. Abelian group means A into B is equal to B into A. A plus B equal to B plus A. So this is. And then one more property is distributive. A dot B plus C equal to A dot B. Okay. So any set which satisfy, which is two groups. First with addition is a group, and the second same set excluding 0. Excluding 0 if it is group. That is another property, another requirement. And third is the distribution. Then it will be a field. Yeah, Abhishek, you can unmute Rising. So some sound is coming from you. I think so host they can unmute. Okay.
Sir, which participant, sir?
Rising. No, now it is okay. Okay. So this is the field. So I hope is clear. So field is basically roughly it is equivalent to two groups. You have two operations are there. It is equivalent to two groups. Okay. The first group will be F with addition. Second group will be F excluding 0 element and multiplication. That is the group. You can see these are all group properties. And then one more aspect is the distribution property. This is distribution. Okay, so now let's see some examples. The set of real numbers R with normal addition and multiplication. This is a field. This is field. Where R is the set of real numbers. Okay, you can see it satisfies all the properties. Okay, so R plus is a group self, and R0 multiply is also a group. So two groups are there, and then again distributive property. Okay, so that the set of real numbers with addition and multiplication is a field. Second well-known, which will be used in the ECC also, that is this field. ZP 0, 1, 2, P minus 1. Previous case we defined ZP as 1 to P minus 1. Now this ZP is 0 also is there. 1, 2, 3, P minus 1, where P is prime. This is also a field, and it is a finite field. Finite field means which has finite number of elements. P elements should be there. This this addition is defined like this. Addition modulo P. This is defined like multiply modulo P. This is a field. This is one known field. Okay. So ZP addition modulo P and multiple modulo P is a field. And then if you see, this also field will be used here, Z2. Z2 means the element will be only 0 and 1. And addition and multiply. This is also a field because 2 is also primary. Okay. So addition modulo 2, multiply modulo 2. So this is the field. So any doubt till this point? You can ask if you have any doubt at this point. So okay, no doubt. Okay, so I'll move on to. So one thing is used in the ECCs, characteristic of field. Okay, so what is this one? Just FBA field with multiplicative identity E. The characteristic of F is the smallest integer P, such that if you add P times, this becomes additive 0, additive identity. So in the field you will have two identity. One will be additive identity, generally it is 0, and another will be, because you have two groups. You have two groups, two identity, another will be 1. Okay, so that is the E system. So how many times E will be added such that it will become the first identity 0. Okay, so if there is no such E exist, then characteristic will be 0. For example, if you see the real number, in the field of real numbers, the R with addition and multiple is a field. And what is the characteristic of R? You can't how many times you will add 1 so that it will become 0? That you cannot say it. Okay, so if that is the case, if P doesn't exist, then characteristic will be 0. So R has characteristic 0. Now if you see the field of Z2, addition modulo 2 and multiple modulo 2. This is the field Z2 where elements are 0 and 1. How many times you will add 1 to get 0? One more time. 1 plus 1, 2, 2 modulo 2. 2 modulo 2 will be 0. If you have field of 3, this is also field. Okay, the elements are 0, 1, 2. So how many times we will add 1? 3 times. Will be 0. Okay, similarly Z5, the characteristic will be 5. Z3, the characteristic will be 3. Z5, ZP, the characteristic will be. Okay, so this is the characteristic one. Is clear? Okay. One more number theory is used in ECC, that is quadratic residue. Okay, is clear? So, okay. See, this is the congruence relation. X square congruent A modulo M. You may be knowing this one. So let's say X congruent A modulo M. If you know, I hope you know some basic number theory. This basically means X congruent A modulo M. This basically means M divides X minus A. M divides X minus A. This is the meaning. X congruent A modulo M basically means M divides X minus A. Okay. So similarly, this one, it basically means this has a solution, means X square congruent A modulo M means M divides X square minus A. So this has a solution means there exists X such that M divides X square minus A. That is Tamoguna Mandal. Okay, so this. Now, we say A is this one. A is quadratic residue modulo M. A is QR modulo M. If then the congruence has a solution. Okay, so if this, you can say, okay, if there exists X such that this is true, then we'll say A is quadratic residue QR, short form QR modulo M. Okay, and you'll see there may not be any X which will satisfy this equation. If there doesn't exist X which satisfy this equation, then we say A is quadratic non-residue QNR modulo M. This is clear. So if X exists, we'll say we satisfy this equation. We'll say A is QR modulo M. If X doesn't exist, we'll say A is QNR modulo M. Okay. Now, for example, if you take, for example, X square congruent 4 modulo 11. Easily you can say X equal to 2. X is, there exists X that is equal to 2. 2 square 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So 11 divides 4 minus 4 0. So 11 divides 0. Okay, that is true. So X is equal to 2 is the solution of this equation. It means the 4 is, it means 4 is QR modulo 11. Okay. Now similarly 5. 5, well, let's see, can you have X square congruent 5 modulo 11? Can anyone tell the value of X will satisfy this equation? Can anyone tell value of X?
Root 5.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, X equal to 4. Okay. So if you see X equal to 4, 4 square 16. So 16 congruent 5 modulo 11. This is true. 11 divides 16 minus 5, that is 11. So exist. So you can say 5 is also QR modulo 11. Okay. What about 2? If I put X square 2 modulo 11. Is there any X? You try this part, you try all the values of X 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can try only 10. 1 to 10, you will not get any X, any value of X which will satisfy this equation. So it is no. So 1 is Q1R modulo. Is clear? So what is the meaning of QR modulo M and what is the meaning of Q1R modulo M? I hope it is clear. Okay. Yeah, this is the equation. See here. So if you see here, P equal to 1, those square it. 1 square, this is there, 4 also is there, 9 is there, 5 is there, and 3, 3. So these 1, 4, 9, 5, and 3, they are QR modulo. These are QR modulo prime P 11. Okay. Other values like 2, 6, 2, 6, 7, 8, 10. They are Q1R modulo 11. So out of, see, from 1 to 10, the 5 are QR modulo P and 5 are QNR modulo P. So for the 5 numbers, there does not exist X to satisfy this equation. So you see, you can try all the values of X, you will not get any value of X which will satisfy this equation. So 50% will be QR modulo P and 50% will be QNR modulo P. So 50% times you will have solution and 50% times you will not have solution. Okay, so this is the, so proof also very simple, you can see. So it will have P minus 1 by 2 quadratic residual modulo P and P minus 1 by 2 quadratic non-residual modulo P among this one. So proof also I have given here, this you can see. Okay, QR modulo P is clear. Okay. Okay, so now I hope this number theory part is over. So now we'll come to the ECC. Is it any doubt is there? So if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, so now we'll see the ECC as lightweight encryption. Okay, so the blockchain, they use ECC. Okay, now let's see here. If you see ECC and RSA, ECC of 163 bits and RSA of 1024 bits, they give same level of security. Now you can see ECC only 163 bits are there, and RSA you have 1024 bits. So the number of bits are less here, and number of bits are very more. So obviously, when the numbers are less, the computation will be, the required computation will be less. Okay, so they will be more efficient. So the ECCs compared to RSA is much more efficient. So that's why it is part of lightweight encryption scheme. So ECC is also called lightweight public key encryption schemes. Among the RSA, Elgamal, EC is the lightweight. Okay, so you can see 256 is equivalent to 3072 bits. That much efficient is there. Now, if you see, compare with the symmetric crypto system, AES. Okay, so AES is the symmetric crypto systems are much more efficient than the public crypto systems. You can see AES 128 bit gives the equivalent security to RSA of 3072. 1 to 12 ratio is there, and ECC of 256. So the symmetric, all the symmetric algorithms are much more efficient than the public key cryptography. Okay, so why to use the public key cryptography? So the public key cryptography is used only to share a session key. Okay, once session key is established, then the symmetric crypto systems is used, as we have seen in the previous classes given by the Dr. Brinda. So this is the symmetric crypto systems are much more efficient compared to public crypto system. Okay, so public crypto system, the objective is to share a session key. After that, the symmetric crypto systems are used. Okay. Okay. Now this is the ECC. Now we'll see the ECC. So non-singular elliptic curve over field of size, Gaussian field of size P. So this is ZP, as you have seen. This is the field. Okay. So different field, the equations will be different. Okay. So that you have to be, that's why field is defined. And that depends on the characteristic number. Okay. So this equation, this kind of general equation is those where the characteristic number is not equal to 2. If the characteristic number equal to 2, then there will be y square plus xy will be there. That will be that we are not discussing here. So in the blockchain, this kind of elliptic curve equation is used. Okay, where characteristic number is not equal to 2. Okay, so this is the normal equation. Why this condition is there? So this condition is there. I see non-singular. Okay, see, the singular elliptic curves, they have some points where it behaves in different way. Okay, so you might have seen in the 10+2 mathematics, the singular points are those points where a partial derivative is zero, or second derivative also is zero. You might have seen these cusp kind of things, cusp. So something like that. Okay, so some cusp you might have seen the second order derivative only. So this comes because of this one. So they don't want the singular points, because the singular points are vulnerable for some kind of attacks. Okay, so they don't need singular points. They want only non-singular elliptic curves. To do the non-singular elliptic curves, it should not have singular points, and the singular points, they satisfy this kind of equations. So if you differentiate this one once and twice, you will get this kind of condition. Okay, clear? So this is for non-singularity. Because of non-singularity, this condition comes. So elliptic curve equation with this form, where this is 4a cube plus 27b square modulo p is not equal to 0. Okay, so that is the concept. Yeah, and here we'll define a group here. The main part is here, they defined a group, and group you need a set of elements. So what are the set of elements here? The set of elements are the points on non-singular elliptic curve. The points, you see now there will be many points. So you see, if you have 0 to p, you can say there will be p square points, but actually p square points will not be there. That you will see how. So you can see x, the points it will be x, y. Okay, the x and y are from this field ZP. So x, y can be p values. Okay, so this will be, you can say number of different points, the maximum number of different points will be p square. The points are x, y, and x can vary p ways, 0 to p, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 p, and y also can vary p ways. So the maximum number of points will be p into p square. But actually the number of points will not be p square, because of, you see, QR modulo p. All the equations, there will not be any y which will satisfy y square kind of things. That will see QR modulo p. Okay, so it will be roughly p. Okay, so the points are, we are defining a group. Okay, so we need a set, and then we need an operation. Okay, then only you can have the group. Okay, so we need one elliptic group where the points, the set is E, we defined E. Okay, so that will see, you will see some examples where the blocks kind of they use. Okay, blocks, points on non-singular elliptic curve, and then the points of this curve, and then point at infinity. This is some imaginary point. This the point doesn't exist, just they have defined it's one imaginary point. Okay, so this is the set. Clear? The set consists of all the points on non-singular elliptic curve, and one imaginary point at infinity. There is no mathematical value for this one. It's just imaginary point which will be defined. We'll see how it is defined. Okay, so now the claim is this set with addition operation. What is this addition operation? That will define. It is not normal addition operation. We'll define this addition operation, and this forms a abelian group. Not only abelian group, this forms a cyclic group. So now we'll see abelian group, but actually some example it will form a cyclic group. That we'll see. We need a cyclic elliptic group for ECC. Is clear? So now we'll prove this claim. The EAB set of points on non-singular elliptic curve and one point at infinity with addition operation that will be defined. That will define. Okay, forms the abelian group. That will show it. Is clear? Okay. So the EAB is like kind of thing. xy, and one and point at infinity. We denote point at infinity as this symbol. This is not infinite value. Okay. Okay. And this with the addition operation forms the group. That will prove. Okay. How it is defined? This addition is defined. If you add this addition, if you add with the point at infinity, this is point at infinity, but this so this is point at infinity. It's also called. Okay. So if you add p with point of infinity, it will get p. That is the one. So this addition is defined. Okay, such that if you add with the point of infinity, you will get p. Okay. This you can't express this mathematically. Just to our addition will be there. Okay. So the coding part, if you add this one, it will get p. Okay. That will be the point of view. Voice is breaking, or is it okay? Have you said voice is okay?
It's okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So for all p, this is the case. Okay. Second thing, if you add p and conjugate of p, so you know the minus p is basically here conjugate of p. So you know this curve I can see is symmetric curve. Whatever is the above axis x-axis, same will be below x-axis. Is y square. This is y square. This is this side x. So for it will be same y equal to positive y and negative y. It will be same. So it will be symmetric about x-axis. Whatever is the above axis, same will be there in the below axis. Okay. So if you see a conjugate point of p will be minus p. How minus p will be there? So p is, let's say, xy, then minus p will be x minus p. X will be same and y will be minus. If this is minus 3, this will be minus plus 3. That is conjugate. Okay. So if you add p with this conjugate point, you will get point at infinity. This is the way it is different. Okay. So two ways. This is case 1, case 2. If you get point at infinity with any p, then you will get p. Second thing is if you are adding p and conjugate of p, you will get point at infinity. Clear? So now third one, if you are adding 2 points whose x coordinates are not same. So if x coordinate is same, then you get this part. If x coordinate same is, you are adding conjugate points. Okay. So now third one is that when x1 is not equal to x2. If you are adding some 2 points, for example, some questions are there. Can you? I don't have this kind of. Okay, chat. Where lies the security in case of this curve? I couldn't understand. So this question I couldn't understand. Okay, anyway, we'll see later on. So this just I'm defining later on we'll discuss this kind of questions. So just if you have doubt in this kind of things, then you can tell me. So now we are adding 2 points, P1 and P2. Their x coordinates are different. 2 general points. How it will be added? It will be added like this one. So it will be added. So P1 plus P2 will be P3. How it is done? You draw a line joining P1 and P2, extend it. Yeah, we'll see algorithm, we'll see later on. We'll see. This just is not complete. Basically, in the blockchain, the elliptic curve digital signature is used. The digital signature elliptic curve digital signature is used, and for that we need elliptic curve. Okay. Okay. Now, line P1, P2, and draw a line, and if this line intersect at this point, okay, and the conjugate of this point, that is P3, will be the sum of P1 and P2. Will be sum of P1 and P2. Okay, this is the sum. So P1 plus P2 will be P3, like this one. Yeah, and now the sum, this P3, coordinate of P3 will be this one. That is easily you can drag. So I think it may be given here. Okay, it's not given here. Yeah, the equation is y square. Equation is y square x cube plus ax plus b. Okay, this is the equation. Now you can see the equation of P1, P2. Equation of P1, P2 will be what? Y equal to mx plus c, the line equation, where m is the slope, and slope is y2 minus y1, and x2 minus x1, and c will be the intercept. And now you can see, you substitute y in this here, substitute y in here. So what will you get? You will get mx plus c whole square and x cube plus ax plus b. And rearrange this one, you will get x cube minus square, m square, x square, and then some other term will be there. That term we are not interested. Okay, so rearrange this one, we got this one. Now you might have studied in the 10 plus 2 maths, if this x cube minus m square x square is there, the sum of the roots, let's say so 3 roots are of this cubic equation, there will be 3 roots, x1, x2, x2, because this is intersect at 3 points. Okay, this line will intersect at 3 points, this one. Okay, so you will have 3 roots. The sum of 3 roots will be negation of the first coordinate, negation of the coefficient of x square, that is negation m square, it will be m square. And 2 already you know, x1, x2 already you know, x3, this x3 will be, this x3 and this is both are same, so x3 will be what? M square minus x1, x2. So m square, this m is the slope, is the lambda here, so they have denoted by lambda x. Okay, so lambda square minus x1, x2, that you got. Okay, so this is x3. Now you have to find out y3. So you have x3, this is y3. If this is x3, y3, what will be this one? This will be x3 minus y3. Now you can see slope of this one, slope of P1, P2 will be same as slope of P1 and this point. They are same line. Okay, so you can see what is the slope of this one? P1 and this line will be minus y3 minus y1 divided by x3 minus x1. This slope, and this will be equal to slope of P1, P2, that is lambda. So you can find out y3. So y3 will be what? Lambda x3 minus x1, lambda x3 minus x1 minus y1, because y3 will go this side, you will get this one. Okay, so this is the one. So if you add 2 points, extend it, and if it intersect at, it has to intersect at one more point, what is cubic equation? Okay, so the conjugate of that will be the answer. Okay, this is the one more. If both the points are same, If you are adding, both the points are same. And what you will do? Similar things. P is same. You draw tangent at P. This is a tangent of P, and it will intersect at. It has to intersect one more point. Let's say it intersect at R. Okay, and then conjugate of that R will be the answer. Okay, so here you have to find out slope. You have to find, because you need slope at this point. Okay, so that will be dy dx. You find out, and then the point you will get this. M will be this one, because the slope of the tangent. If you remember, slope of tangent will be dy dx at curve. Okay, this is the function. This one, this you can see, and rest is same. Rest is same. Okay, so these are 3 points. Now clear? So now what we have to show is set of points with the addition operation, which is defined in 4 ways, forms a abelian group. 4 ways forms a abelian group. This is, I didn't put. So EAB with this forms a group. This you can easily prove. Why? First property is closure property. If you add 2 points, again it belongs to this set EAB. You see in the curve, if you add 2 points, again it belongs to the one of the points in the curve. If you add 2 points, again it belongs to curve. It's closed. Okay. If you add 2 same points again, and similarly conjugating. Okay. So what is the INT element in this case? Any guess? INT element? Anyone? INT element is that element. If you add with any point P, you will get the point P. Anyone? Okay. So INT element is this one, point at infinity. Point at infinity. Because you are adding P with the point at infinity, you are getting P. So this is the point at infinity is the INT element. Written also. Okay. What is the inverse, additive inverse of any point P? Any guess? Additive inverse? Zero. So inverse of additive inverse is that you have to add something like here, so that you will get identity. INT is point at infinity. What is this one? So P, already you have defined P plus conjugate of P. So additive inverse is conjugate of P. Yeah, minus P. Conjugate of P minus P. Because we have defined here. These, if you add it, you will get it point at infinity. Okay. So this forms the group. Okay. So although a little bit we are in fast, because the code that workshop is related to blockchain technology. So just maybe next time, if you conduct the course on a workshop on cryptography, then we'll cover all these things in detail. Okay. Okay. So now I will do the points of the curve. As I told you, the points are xy, but you see all the xy will not be the point in this EAB. Why? That will be seen. Okay. So you can see if x equal to 1, you put x equal to 1, what will be the y? Y will be square equal to, let's say we take one particular curve. Which curve they have taken? Yeah, they have taken this one. Okay, this curve 2, 3. Okay. So if you see x equal to what? 0, then y square will be 0, 0. So y square will be 3. 3 modulo 5. Let's take simple p equal to 5. Okay. Now you see for x equal to 0, y doesn't exist. Okay. For 0, 1 will not be the point in the curve. So this will not be there. That's why I told you it will not be p square. Otherwise, if you say x, y, x can vary p ways 0, 1, 2, p minus 1, y can vary p ways. So it will be number of points will be p square. But that is not the case. Okay, that is not the case. Okay, so this x equal to 0, no solution. Y is not there. X equal to 1, yeah. Y square equal to 6. 1, 2, 3 plus 6. So that y will be 1 and 4. So two values of y will be there. So here the solution will be either 2 or 0. So either if x is the solution, p minus x also will be the solution. If 1 is solution, p minus 5 minus 1, 4 also will be there. So one solution you will see x is the solution, the p minus x also will be there. That easily you can prove. Okay. In this case, y. If y is the solution, then p minus y. If you put p minus y also, this also will be 0. Same. Instead of y, p minus y. So you're not going to. Okay. So similarly, this one. So like this way, in this point, only these many points should be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 points are there. Otherwise, if you see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points, 5 into 5, it should be 25. But out of 25, only 7 points are there because of QR modulo. Okay, quadratic residue. 3 is not QR modulo 5. But y doesn't exist. Okay, so okay, that's why quadratic residues also involved here. Is clear? Okay, so these are the points, and you can see, if you see, this makes the cyclic group, and you can see here, if you see, if you take field of 23, p equal to 23, then these many points will be there. 30 points are coming, and it is cyclic. Why it is cyclic? The generator is 0, 2. If 0, 2 plus 0, 2, 2z is coming this one. 3z is coming this one. So you can write all the points in this elliptic curve as the addition of z. Here it is additive group. So that's why it's a cyclic. Okay. Everything you can write in terms of z. Addition of z. Okay. Is clear? Okay, so now we come to the, so if these basics are clear, so now we'll come to the elliptic curve crypto system. So this is the, so here everything in points in the coordinate of the curve, the points of the curve. Okay, so this is the cyclic group, and this cyclic group will be used in the ECC. Okay, so yeah, so public parameters will be there. So I forgot to put this public parameter. Public parameter is, there will be a cyclic group, cyclic elliptic group like this one. Okay, for some large prime. So there will be a cyclic elliptic group over GFP. Okay, GFP. That will be there. And which generator? That will be public parameter. Generator G. For example, if you see in this case, if you choose p equal to 23, the generator is Then it is 0 2. Okay, so this will be there. There will be a elliptic cycloelliptic group GFP23. Which generator? G. This will be given. This is public parameter. Okay, so this is public parameter. This is given to everyone. Whoever wants to use elliptic curve crypto system, this will be given in advance. Okay, now the users can create the keys, private key, public key. Now you want to be part of ECC, so what you'll do is you will choose your private key and corresponding public key. Okay, so what will be your private key? You choose any number A between 1 to p minus 1. That will be your private key. If you choose 5, so 5 will be your private key. You can choose any number. Okay, so A, and then the public key will be what? Will be AZ. AZ. So G is the generator. If A is your private one, so if A is, let's say you choose 101, so your public key will be 101 Z. So you are adding G 101 times. 101 times. Okay. So this is your. So now you see here this public key, and this will be known by everyone. Everybody knows your public key because you have to keep this public. You will keep in some secure place. And G also I told you is public. Okay. Now whether the adversary can compute A, that is the hard problem. So that is called additive discrete logarithm. You might have seen the first morning madam's class. So DLP, discrete logarithm problem. Okay, so I say it's hard problem. Hard means it will, if you want to solve, try to solve, it will take many years. It's not impossible. See, you can try to get value of A like this one. You try A equal to 2, G is known to you, add G twice. If you get the public key, it means you got the A. Otherwise, you add 3. Add 3 times. If you get it, you are lucky, you got the private key of the person. Otherwise, you try 4, like this one. So, there, it is not impossible. Only method is trial method. If you do the trial method and P is very large, P is not small, 23. P is very large. So if you try that much time, it will take many years. It will take 1000 years. Okay. So, given here, the given, you can say PA G, hard to find A. That is called discrete logarithm problem. This is in additive case. You see in the books also, you see given git for X. There Y will be given to you, Z is given to you, finding X is hard. That is multiplicative kind of thing. The operation is multiplicative. Here the operation is additive. Okay, so both are same. Okay, because of this, security is there. Somebody was asking, what is the security guarantee? There is a security guarantee. You know the public key. This is known to you. This G also I told you is public parameter. Everybody knows here. And but you cannot find A, the private key of the person, because of DA hard problem. Okay, okay. So now how to do this? I'll just go through this one. Alice takes message M and encodes into the point. So whatever message is there, you have to convert into the point of the curve. So there will be encoding. There will be encoding points. Encoding points. So cryptography is about encryption and decryption. It's not about encoding. So there will be some encoding techniques that we are not discussing here. Okay. So you have message. Maybe something like you can do it like so. Maybe message half maybe X coordinate, half maybe Y coordinate, and then you will see check whether it lies in the curve or not. That may be one of those. So message you have to convert into the point of the curve, and then you have to encrypt. Okay. So the encryption, this is randomized algorithm. Randomized algorithm means same message in different time you will get different cipher. Okay. That is called randomized. The RSA is deterministic. Okay. Same message, always same ciphertext. But this ECC and LGML are randomized one. So you see the random number is one. This is to randomize the encryption. So you choose K from 1 to P minus 1, okay, and then that will be used here. KB. This is Z generator, KZ, and PM, okay, the message, and plus this public key of B, K public key, because if you want to send the confidential message to the receiver, what do you need? You need public key of the receiver. This is the public key of the receiver. This is the answer. Now it's very simple here. One idea I'll just tell you. Okay, so as you can see here, this KZ, and PMKPB. Okay, this is simple. Okay, now the PB is public key of the receiver. Will be B into Z. You see here, B into Z. B is the private key. B is the private key. Private key of the receiver. Okay. Now the receiver gets this ciphertext. Okay, and from this ciphertext, he knows the private key. He knows the B. He knows the B. Okay, from this B, he has to get PM. Now the PM, he knows this part. So if you subtract this from this part, if you subtract this value, you will get the PM. Okay, so now how they are using it in this one, you can see PP. So you see KPB. What is KPB? KBZ. Okay, this I can write it BKZ. Can I write BKZ? And I know the Z, KZ. What is KZ? First part. And a receiver knows private. He doesn't know, receiver doesn't know the K. Receiver doesn't know the K. K is encrypted. That the encryptor randomly choose K. Okay. And he choose randomly K and then encrypt it. The receiver doesn't know K. But now he has to get this value. How he get this value? KZ from first part, and he knows B. And this will give you this value. And subtract from the second part of the ciphertext, it will get message. Okay, this is the case. You see in LGML also, study LGML also, same idea is used here. Okay. KBC. Okay, so this idea is used. Yes. Okay, so I will not go through this one. Yeah, digital signature I already have studied in the first. Is similar to normal signature, except that it depends on the message. Okay, digital signature, normal signature doesn't depend on the message, so it's integrity, authentication already you have seen. Okay, so this is the normal signature. You see here the report card. This is the principal. This is the director of NIT, and the students needs director signature on his report card. What do you do? Director has some unique handwriting skill, and with that skill, you will make the signature. This only director knows. Okay, and then whoever knows, everyone else, whoever knows director's previous signature, they can easily verify. They can easily verify. So this is the normal signature works. Clear? So the digital signature also same thing, similar one. And here you see it is independent of the message. The director's signature is same on the student X report card, student Y's report card, student all these things. Now, digital signature, you will have something like handwriting skill. Here in the digital part, it will be private. Okay, and then it will sign it. And whoever knows the public key, they can easily verify. Okay, so it's similar to normal signature. Only difference is here the digital signature depends on the message, and the normal signature doesn't depend on the message. This is the difference between normal signature and digital signature. So why it depends on the message, that you can see, but now we don't have time. So okay, so I have some. Okay. So just I'll quickly go through this part. Now elliptic curve digital signature algorithm. Okay. Now here same, the key generation part is same. So again you see there will be public parameter, same as previous case. Public parameter, the cyclic elliptic group with generator Z. Okay, that will be there over the field of GFP. Okay, now the key generation is same as previous also. The parties will choose one A between 1 to P minus 1, and public key will be A Z, point on the curve. That is same. Now signature will be a little bit, okay. Signature will be like this. You have to do calculation like this. So you know already you saw signature, you need private key DA. Private key is A. A is private key. So this is DA basically. DA there. Okay. DA, and to compute what? Calculate E. This is the hash function it is used, as you have seen in the morning class. As I said, 256. Twice it will do. Okay. E. Hash of M. Then the Sajid P. Okay. So random integer K from 1 to P minus 1. This to randomize the signature. Sajid. Yeah. Abhishek, can you unmute them? Just try it.
Yes, sir. Let me.
Whoever makes noise, you can unmute them. Okay. Okay. So this is the case. Now this K P minus 1. Okay. And then to choose R X1. What is X1? R will be X1. It will compute KZ. KZ. And KZ will be some point. Okay, because everything is in point of the curve. It's not like one number. Everything is point on the curve. So X1, Y1. This X1 will be R. If it is not 0. If it comes 0 here, then you have to again choose another K and find the X1, Y1. Clear? So find the X1, Y1. So R and S signatures and RR should not be 0. That is okay. So otherwise, choose another K and again find out the KZ till X1 is not, till X1 is non-zero, and that will be R. Then S, K inverse E plus private DAR. This also, if it is not, this will not be 0. If it is 0, then again do the calculation, go to 2. And this will be signature. So MRS will be signature, and this will be verified. Okay. And the receiver knows the public key, and with that public key easily he can verify. So he knows M, R, S, and with that this is signature part, and he knows the public key also. What is the public key? QA. With that one he can easily verify. It will compute E the way they have done previously, W S inverse, S inverse, and then U1 EW, U2 RW, and this U1 P1 R2, and it will compute X1 Y1. This is claiming that U1 P plus U2 QA will be X1 Y1. And if you remember, X1 Y1 is KZ. So basically, it's claimed that this is KZ. That it comes, and the first coordinate will be R1. X1, if X1 equal to R1, you say yeah, verified. If doesn't equal to R1, you can ignore the signature. You can say that signature is not correct, not valid. Okay. Now you can see this comes out to be KZ. Easily you can see U1 is EW, ES inverse, and P. U2 is R. U2 is RW, S inverse, and QA is public key of the person A, that is equal to A into P. A into P. The P is generator here. I am putting P equal to generator here. The thing is, we have used different symbol. Generator is P we have used. That you have to be careful, and by mistake we have used a different. So now P is generator here. So if you do this one, take common as E plus AR S inverse. Okay. And this, if you see, E plus AR will be equal to, you can see here previous case, E plus S into K. That is what S into K. So SS get cancelled, KP. So this P also is there. KP. So this is correct. So this comes out to be KP. So with that one, it will verify. Okay. Okay. So this is a signature scheme. Last one, the signature is malleable. Just one theoretical things. The one problem is in the elliptic curve digital signature is it is malleable. Okay, what is the malleable signature? Given signature on M, the third party can use it to compute another valid signature on same message M without knowing the private key. Okay, so as you know, the signature requires private key. Okay, so if you know MRS, elliptic curve digital signature on M, okay, then easily you can get another signature without knowing private key. You can get another signature on M. That's what it is saying. That's what is the meaning of malleable. It should not be, but it's okay, but it doesn't have much problem. Okay, is clear? So you know the signature on M, and now you can produce this signature on M, another signature on M, without doing the private key. Okay, that you can do it simple. So simple, this one theorem is there, lemma is there. The inverse of n minus s is n minus s inverse. Okay, that you can see n minus s inverse into this will be 1. N minus s into this one will be 1. Then only it will be inverse of, this will be inverse of n minus s if you multiply. Yeah, if you multiply, this will be inverse of n minus s. If you multiply this with the n minus l, you will get 1. Okay, in the different way also. If this is there, you can try, it will come 1. Okay, so now easily you can verify if RS is the valid signature on M, then R n minus s is also valid signature on this. So easily you can prove also. Proof is given here. So this was the proof for S. Okay, you have seen the proof for S here. Now what you are saying, n minus s, R is same, is also signature. So in the verification you put n minus s here, n minus s, and you will see this part comes out to be same. It comes out to be Kp minus Kp, but we are not interested in this part because our R is only first part. The previous case it was coming xy, now it is coming x minus y, but since we see we are interested only R, the first coordinate. The first coordinate comes out to be same. That is also valid. Okay. So this is the thing. So this is, if you want to study, you can see the books. Okay. So these things are given in many papers. You can see the malleable, all these things. Okay. So main thing is the elliptic curve. So I hope if you have doubt in the elliptic curve, if that is the understood, these are simple things. Just you have to work out all these things. Okay. So if any questions on elliptic curve disturbed signature, you can ask me. Yeah, you will see when, as I told you, in blockchain, the signature is key. You already have seen in the first morning class, the blockchain requires digital signature, hash functions. Okay, and the digital signature is, which digital signature is used in the blockchain? The elliptic curve digital signature is used. This one. This is used. No, you should not use it. Okay, it's not. Yeah, it's malleable. It is. If something is malleable, it does not mean that it should not use. There is no attack, real-time attack. That some attack is not there. Although, so what they are doing is, what you can do is, so you can see here MRS. Okay, so N minus S. Okay, so this is S, this is N minus S. What they are doing is, they are taking one value. There will be someone check when you give the signature RS. Okay, so since both are valid, they will check whether it is second part is less than n by 2 or not. So one of them will be less than n by 2. Okay, so this way you cannot produce two signatures. Okay, so that's what they are checking. Just check with you. Okay, so these are some. You don't need to worry about all these things. So just since to complete the everything, so we have